From the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Friday, September 9th, 2016. I'm Ann Gownley. Hazleton police arrested a man on a list of charges around 2:30 this morning on the northwest side. City police say while on patrol, a man flagged them down at 3rd Street and Emerald Court, the alley between Vine and Alter Streets. He said he'd been attacked by a man using his fists and a handgun. A couple of blocks away, police picked up Johann Cooper, who fits the description of the assailant. He was allegedly carrying 9 bags of heroin and had just discarded a .380 Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun at 3rd and Alter. He'd been charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, receiving stolen property, heroin possession, and related counts. He was arraigned overnight and is in county prison. A task force was established this week to address the major concerns of overcrowding in the Luzerne County Prison. The task force was created by Luzerne County Manager David Pedri and Luzerne County District Attorney Stephanie Salavantis. At $34.1 million a year, the prison system is the largest department expense in the county's $130.2 million budget. The county spends around $110 per inmate a day and houses over 500 inmates. The task force was scheduled to have their first meeting today.
Today we're meeting for the first time the Prison Population Task Force. Through my time as county manager, we've immediately identified that there is a prison population issue at Luzerne County Correctional Facility. We have a large population. We continue to have a large population. We need to make sure that those individuals get the services they need and that our prison population is secure both from the inside out as well as the outside in.
Correctional officer safety is also a major concern due to the recent controversies back in July with the deaths of an inmate and a CO inside the prison elevator shaft.
The main goal is to make sure that individuals are getting to trial in a timely manner, that bails are correct, that people are getting the services they need. They need drug and alcohol, they need mental health. They shouldn't be waiting in prison for those services. So how can we best serve those individuals and make it a safer place for our correctional officers?
County Council will be briefed on the group's work at the September 13th council meeting. A former cocktail server at Mohegan Sun Pocono pleaded guilty to her part in a scam. 38-year-old Rochelle Poluzny entered a guilty plea to money laundering conspiracy charges. She was part of a scam which swindled the casino out of $422,000 in a little over a year between May of 2014 and April of 2015. Also charged are the casino's former director of player development, Robert Pellegrini of Mountaintop, and another gambler, 52-year-old Mark Hetzel of Dallas. The state superior court has upheld the murder conviction of 52-year-old Arthur Stoss. He was convicted of the 2011 murder of Lillian Calabro. Stoss had claimed his defense counsel was inadequate. The superior court did not agree. Stoss was convicted of killing Calabro at Riverfront Park in Pittston and dumping her body into the Susquehanna River. It was found near Kirby Park in Wilkes-Barre, 10 miles down the river, 11 days later. Today marks the anniversary of a flood that disrupted many people and businesses in the Wyoming Valley back in 2011. WYLN's Aaron Harvey has more.
5 years ago today, many homes and businesses in the Wyoming Valley were destroyed in the 2011 flooding by Tropical Storm Lee. Communities of Greater Pittston, Plains, and Plymouth Township sustained damage worse than they experienced during the 1972 flood. State Senator John Udechak joined state lawmakers and local officials and residents to mark the anniversary.
5 years ago, September 9th, 2011, one of the worst storms, worst flood events in the history of Luzerne County occurred and ravaged communities throughout the Wyoming Valley. Communities like West Pittston, Jenkins Township, Plains Township, Plymouth Township, Chickashinny, all of these small communities that are really the heart of the Wyoming Valley were devastated. Homes, we had close to 200 homes and businesses completely destroyed, close to 1,000 severely damaged. We needed help to recover. I recognized after visiting and touring up and down the Wyoming Valley, going into homes that were devastated, meeting with business owners who had lost everything.
In response to the flood, Udechak developed the Luzerne County Small Business Loan Program to help assist flood-impacted businesses with an interest rate of only 1%.
we were able to come up with the Luzerne County Small Business Loan Program administered by Metro Action, $100,000 at a 1% interest rate to those businesses impacted by the flood. 22 businesses took out that loan and got their businesses back on their feet, created and retained over 200 jobs, and as we've moved forward, as we've moved beyond the flood, an additional 30 businesses have stepped up to the plate, used the program, and created another 400 jobs.
The funding for the loan program came from an LSA grant.
The resilience of the people of Wyoming Valley and northeastern Pennsylvania to never give up on their communities, to never give up on their businesses or their neighbors. The loan program represents that resiliency. We were able to use that $4 million from an LSA grant, working with the entire state delegation, Democrat and Republican. We were able to put that $4 million and invest in the communities and the businesses that make northeastern Pennsylvania the great place it is to live and work.
Currently, the loan program approved a total of 55 loans and retained and created 403 jobs. In West Pittston, for WILN News, I'm Erin Harvey.
Thank you, Aaron. Stockton's number 6 and 8 are now on the Hazleton City Authority's water system. Work was completed on connecting 43 homes on those 2 hamlets to the public system. The spring water they'd been drinking there had been shown to have high levels of contaminants. DEP had been pushing to have the hamlets connected to HCA's system for several years. Though there were some resistance from some residents, work involved running a 2-mile line to the villages at a cost of around $2 million. Well, Fun Fest starts today and tomorrow, and it's just our countdown continues. The theme this year is Community Heroes. Fun Fest will be celebrating and honoring all those in their community who make a difference. Fun Fest will take place this weekend, September 10th and 11th in downtown Hazleton, and you won't want to miss all of the fun, food, and entertainment planned all weekend long. Fun Fest is a family-friendly event, so make sure to stop by. On Sunday, September 11th, there'll be an annual parade starting on Broad Street in West Hazleton and making its way to downtown Hazleton. A piece of the World Trade Center will be on display at the Greater Hazleton Historical Society as of tomorrow. There will be a dedication ceremony at 11 a.m. The society has been trying to get a piece of it for some time. President Tom Gabo says it will be a vivid reminder to people of what happened that day. The anniversary of 9/11 is this Sunday. WYLN will also be paying tribute to those in remembrance of 9/11 with the following program that will air on Sunday. The following programs that are on your screen now will honor the patriotism of America, beginning with an episode of The Storm hosted by Tiffany Cloud, featuring the 9/11 Museum, followed by an episode of Warrior Summon Outdoors with special guest John Tig Teagan, who is a survivor of the Benghazi attacks. The evening of September 11th, airing at 7:30, will be a WYLN Reports from Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where Flight 93 crashed. And at 9:30 will be the musical Salute to Veterans, so be sure to tune in to view these special programs only here on WYLN. Well, it's time now for a first look at our forecast. Another bright and sunny day for our viewing area, but what can we expect temperature-wise for Fun Fest weekend? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with the details. Joe?
Well, it's going to get more cooler and more comfortable across our area, and those humidity levels are going to drop by the second part of the weekend. But if you like the heat and humidity and those warm temperatures, you got at least one more day to enjoy. And then after that, some more comfortable conditions will prevail. I'll talk about the complete 7-day forecast and what we can expect in just a few. And
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, I sat down with Hazleton's Chief of Police, Jerry Speziale, who was a New York City police officer on September 11th, 15 years ago. We'll hear his accounts of the day and how we as Americans have changed since then. More news, weather, and sports is coming your way only on WYLN. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, video journalists Mike Lula and Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Gary Perna, Abby Piskel, and Aaron Harvey. Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and John Eric Poli, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik.
Tri-County Business Machines has been serving the Hazleton area with office supplies and furniture for over 35 years. We are your local Kyocera dealer for all your digital Kyocera copiers, printers, and faxes. For exceptional reliability, sales, and service, the call to make is to Tri-County Business Machines. Tri-County Business Machines, keeping your office up to speed. Tri-County Business Machines, located at 117 East Broad Street, Hazleton. Phone 459-0754 or visit us on the web at tricountybm.com.
When you're looking for a new or used car, truck, or SUV, Lehighton Kia is the place to go. They showcase a variety of vehicles, like the totally transformed Soul and the eye-catching Cadenza, the Kia Optima, not your average mid-size sedan, the Forte lineup, including the Coupe and popular 5-door, the Sorrento and Sportage, with a bold array of features. Ask about specials and incentives, and you can't beat the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Lehighton Kia, 21 Blakesley Boulevard, Lehighton. Call them at 610-377-1570. At Booty's Place, they're known for delicious homemade food at affordable prices. And now, there's so much more, like an elevator for easy upstairs access and refurbished interior with an outdoor patio that's now open. To keep their food second to none, Chef Bobby is back. They're making their own fresh pasta, have a new state-of-the-art kitchen, and an updated menu. There are still old favorites like Grandma's Pizza, plus new dishes, all with fresh ingredients. Booty's Place, still, definitely the best.
Welcome back here to WYLN News. I'm Ann Gownley, and I am joined by Hazleton Police Chief Jerry Speziale. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
It's been 15 years, and it's really hard to imagine because it feels like it was only yesterday or a few days ago. But for you, you were a New York City police officer. You retired from the New York City Police Department. You were there September 11th. You were, surrounded by the chaos. You wear your pin proudly.
Sure do.
Tell us about that day that you can remember.
It's not like anybody wears a battle stripe on their arm, because they don't. Because police officers and firefighters and EMS workers, we just simply respond. That's the nature of this business. It's to respond. So it's not really a battle scar. When that happened, police officers and public safety workers do what they do best. They kick into action. They run towards the danger. And they do everything they can to save those that need to be saved. And that's really what happens. It's not that we are callous or we're fearless. No, we have fears. And we just recognize that that's our job. That's, what we do for a living. So we ran towards the danger and helped those that we could help. And then afterwards, we're part of a rescue and recovery mission. Do you expect it? No, it was surreal. I can tell you that from my experience, I remember being in a whiteout type blizzard. That's all I could equate it to. I remember hearing noise, and what I can remember is that I was blinded, my hearing was gone, because what happened was, think about it, we communicate by radio, we use our cell phones, and we pretty much can see what's going on. So you have this whiteout blizzard, you have from the dust, obviously. You have no radio communications, because on the top of the tower we had our radio transmissions, our cellular transmissions, so we had no communication. So you have people walking around in clusters just trying to save whoever they could after the towers came down. At the time the towers are coming down, everybody is scrambling to rescue, not realizing what's going on. But afterwards, you're trying to do this recovery mission, and you have no communications, you have no cellular, you have no power. You're almost like you're blinded and deaf, because you really can't do anything but walk around and try and do what you think is best to save someone.
And I'm sure 15 years later, it's quite hard to even imagine that day again. But when you see 15 years later and you see all the shows on TV and all the newscasts and all the coverage from that day, it's nothing like being there.
Yeah, no, you could watch a movie, you could watch a YouTube video of somebody taking it. There is nothing like being there at that time. There's just, I can't tell you, it's like taking a Matchbox car and putting it on the desk and crushing it, and thinking of the size of a hook and ladder fire truck or a police car or a cruiser or an ambulance, and seeing that crushed like that Matchbox car with thousands of others in the street. You can't even get your arms around it. You can't even grasp what's going on because you've never seen or been part of something like that before in your life. So it's something that you don't even believe is going on. You're almost like shocked at what you're witnessing, but yet you have to forge forward to do what you have to do. And then so many of us suffer from so many different illnesses as a result of that. I mean, for 10 years straight, I had bronchitis or pneumonia at least 3 times a year. I mean, you realize that, something, because when we were first there, we weren't using masks. You're running towards that danger. We didn't have time for a mask. We didn't have masks in our car. Nobody was prepared for a terrorist attack at that time. Nobody ever thought that would happen. I was there at the 93 bombing, and we thought that was catastrophic. Imagine now you're back there at the same location, and it is magnified to the extent that you cannot even believe what is going on.
And in order to remember, here you have a piece in your office here in Hazleton, a piece of the World Trade Center. What does this piece mean to you?
That is a piece of steel that someone cut out. You also forget that we had construction workers, we had so many civilians that helped, people that were feeding us, people that were bringing us gloves and boots, and welders that were cutting steel. That's a piece that was given to me for my participation there, that was made out of a piece of steel at the Twin Towers, into the Twin Towers, to replicate it. So, that's something that I'm very proud of. I took part in that recovery and rescue mission, and that's just something that will always be a part of my life.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? I know you had a statement.
I would think that we should commemorate this anniversary by celebrating our heroes, both alive and dead, and honor them by living our lives and performing our duties with a renewed sense of dedication, devotion, commitment from this day forward. And that's really what you have to do.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi Electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
It's the summer clearance event at Berger Family Dealerships.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Okay, the clouds rolled in across our area, at least right here at our TV station in Hazleton. As those clouds rolled in, cooled things down a little, but still had those high humidity levels. Then we had a little bit of a shower that came through, and that shower is now past, and it's really bringing up those humidity levels once again. And heading into tomorrow, we still have to deal with the humidity and the heat, and then after tomorrow, things are going to change. So let's take a look at what we're experiencing outside. And again, those humidity levels with dew point numbers near 70 and in the lower 70s, you really feel that mugginess when you walk outside. So it's actually feeling a couple degrees warmer than what the actual air temperature indicates. And we just saw just a little bit of rain, really not even amounting to anything in our rain bucket across our region. So how did we do temperature-wise for the day? We did manage to make it up into the 80s for the high temperature for the day. So it definitely was a very warm day across northeastern Pennsylvania, with temperatures managing to make it up into the 80s. We got up to 82 degrees today, and at low, very muggy start to our morning, only dropping down to 70 degrees, and we did get a wind speed coming in, a gust I should say, of 18 miles per hour. Throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, again, there's been a couple of showers out there making their way toward the east. That pretty much is about it, and we got temperatures even still down toward the south and east, well into the upper 80s and lower 90s. And when you combine temperatures with the actual dew point numbers and humidity values, what it feels like when you walk outside, there you can see down by Philadelphia, it's feeling like it's 101 degrees. Extended forecast looking like this, and what we can expect this upcoming weekend. Now we may have to deal with a couple of scattered showers or a thunderstorm for tomorrow, and that's going to pave the way for less humid conditions, more pleasant, nicer for Sunday. Fun Fest Sunday, of course, the parade looking very nice. Even Saturday not looking too bad as well. Take the umbrella with you just to be on the safe side. Monday looking good, Tuesday looking good, and you can see those temperatures generally in the 70s. We'll be back with more after a break.
At All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you not only get the vehicle that you want, you also get the lowest financing options.
We also deliver unmatched service.
Whether you're in need of a work truck, have an active family lifestyle, or simply want to show off your fun, adventurous side, All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a wide variety of inventory to choose from. It's the Ram Power Days and Jeep Celebration event. Stop in today.
Affordable dumpsters specializing in estate cleanups, general cleanups, hauling, foreclosure cleanups, waste removal, demolition, as well as fire, water, and mold damage. We supply containers of all sizes. Call 570-427-4976.
Chura's Auto Sales has a great line of cars and trucks. Every vehicle is serviced, reconditioned, and inspected. Chura's Auto Sales offers you experience, quality, and service. Stop in today, North Broad Street and Susquehanna, West Hazelton.
A training session was held today at City Hall for 2 members of the Freeland Police Department to help them understand tasers and receive their certification. WYLN's Abby Piskel has the details.
As part of the initiative to work together, Hazelton Police worked with Freeland Police to conduct a taser demonstration for 2 new officers. First Lieutenant of the Hazelton Police Department, Ken Zaprowski, says that this is a great way to show how departments work together.
Today, it's a great example of interdepartmental cooperation. You know, the whole crime-fighting process is something that the region goes together with, and it's without boundaries. I received requests from the Chief of Police in Freeland for 2 of his new officers to receive certification for taser use. In order to use any piece of specialized police equipment, we need to be certified in it. The Hazelton Police Department is fortunate enough that we have in-house taser instructors, and we're able to train Freeland's 2 officers today.
Before being able to operate a taser, officers must first go through the training to properly understand how the piece of equipment works by taking a test and receiving a live demonstration.
Well, what happens, in order to be certified as a taser operator or taser user, you need to have a minimum of 6 hours of training on the instrument. It explains how it works, why it works, when you recommend you should use it, when you shouldn't use it, and ultimately, after a written test, proficiency test, they are actually tased. They are subjected to the same electrical current that this weapon will use on an individual they're trying to take into custody. So I mean, it's a fantastic thing because it adds credibility to the instrument, because they're able to see how it incapacitates you if it's administered properly.
Zaprowski says that the use of a taser is humane and explained that after being tased, the recovery time is less than the use of pepper spray.
Unfortunately, I've been tased several times throughout the training to be an instructor. It basically, part feels like a shock. Part of it is you're kind of confused. There is a certain pain component, but it's not unbearable. And, you know, The recovery time for a taser exposure is actually a lot less than, like, for instance, if you use like OC spray, what we call pepper mace, to the general public.
The officers who received the tasing were up and walking around shortly after the demonstration. In Hazelton for WILN News, I'm Abby Piskel.
Thank you, Abby. Coming up next, John Eric Poli is in with sports here on WILN. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a good pre-owned vehicle, check out BLB for tax time specials. Get the best return on your tax check at BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive located on Route 940 in Harley. Call 570-454-7571.
Ralph M. Cameron, specializing in quality and affordable construction services for residential, commercial, and industrial. Licensed and insured. Call 570-401-0654 today for all your construction needs.
Tonight at o'clock, you can catch our Game of the Week featuring Holy Redeemer at Mahanoy area, right here on WILN. Both teams will be fighting for a winning record, with both teams entering today's matchup at 1-1. The Golden Bears know they'll have to play good defense like they did in 7 of the first 8 quarters that they played in this season, as their one bad quarter of defense led to their loss last week against Tamaqua.
We're challenging these kids this week to see who are we as a football team, specifically defensively, because it was night and day between week 1 and week 2. So I'm hopefully we see that week 1 defense that we had against Towanda back then.
When most teams go up against Mahanoy, they must prepare for their triple option attack. But Holy Redeemer won't have to stretch as much as other teams. And last week's low-scoring 8-0 loss to Susquehanna, the Royals played a great defensive game against a team with a similar option look to Mahanoy, which makes this an interesting matchup. That isn't the only big game going on tonight, with both the Schuylkill League and Wyoming Valley Conference having some big-time matchups. In the Schuylkill League tonight, Schuylkill Haven hosts Tamaqua, with both teams entering 2-0. Marion Catholic will be on the road against North Schuylkill in a battle of 2 successful programs. And Shenandoah Valley travels to Kutztown, a team that they've been successful with in the past, as they'll look to get win number 1 tonight. Now to the Wyoming Valley Conference, where Wyoming Valley West will be on the road at Delaware Valley, a highly anticipated matchup with both schools having some big-time talent. Berwick will be at home at Crispin Field as their take on Wyoming area in a battle of 2 undefeated teams looking to get at the top of the Wyoming Valley Conference for Class 4A. And Hazelton area will be on the road at Williamsport. The Cougars will have their hands full tonight, but last week they showed they can play after giving Valley West a scare. This week, plenty of other sports action going on. Tonight, the Rail Riders with a chance to close out the Government Cup in the semifinals against the Iron Pigs. The first-round playoff series heads to PNC Field at Scranton Wilkes-Barre as they hold a 2-0 advantage over Lehigh Valley. First pitch tonight at 6:35. College football tomorrow, Penn State and Pitt renewing an old rivalry. UFC 203 tomorrow night, former WWE superstar CM Punk making his mixed martial arts debut. NFL games all day on Sunday. The U.S. Open Finals in New York are Saturday and Sunday. And finally, former Steelers great Mean Joe Green will be in Wilkes-Barre tomorrow from 4 to 6 at Mohegan Sun Pocono in the racing lobby. Anyone interested should get there early because it's a wristband-only event, and wristbands will be handed out at 1 o'clock in the racing lobby. That's all for sports. Up next, Joe Garbacic is back with one last look at this weekend's forecast.
Electric Frog Designs, 323 North Hunter Highway, Route 309, Drums, offering full-color banners and signs, vehicle lettering and graphics, campaign signs, promotional products, trophies, plaques, and medals. 788-2333.
Family and friends come from all over the area to enjoy a fabulous dining experience at Graziano's Restaurant. You choose your dinner from a menu that is filled with all freshly made-to-order entrees. You'll never be disappointed, and you'll leave satisfied.
Hey, you know what? It's looking like a pretty good weekend there. You can see the 7-day, maybe a couple of scattered showers or thunderstorms, especially as we progress through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. 83, still humid. After that, paves the way for some cooler, less humid conditions for Sunday in the 70s. We'll be in the 70s as we head into next week, and we could be looking at temperatures in the 40s as we go into our Wednesday night, Thursday night of next week.
The 40s?
Yeah, the 40s and daytime highs in the 70s. It's September.
It is September, but it is Fun Fest weekend, so hopefully those scattered rain showers tomorrow won't...
Yeah, and then for the Parade Sunday, looks great at this point in time.
All right, sounds good. Well, hopefully you can all make it out to Fun Fest, and we want to congratulate the Gans family, the
Absolutely.
Grand Marshals of the parade this year, so stop by the parade and make sure you check them out. Have a good weekend, everyone.